This is something that's been on my mind for a while because last summer my friend and I did a little renovation project, and afterwards completely crashed. We got into the bed and we're like, let's turn on a movie.
What movie you guys are on?
Despicable Me 4, bro. It's gonna be awesome. It was one of those things we were just gonna fall asleep to it anyway, but we ended up just staying awake and kind of tilting our heads at it. By the way, what do you call the fourth installation of a movie? Because there's a sequel, and then a threequel, and then, what is it, a quadquel? Anyway, it is the fourth installation of the Despicable Me franchise. What we beheld was one of the worst things we've ever seen in our entire life, and that kind of felt like a dagger to the heart. That was actually one of the first movies I remember going to the theaters. I know my first movie that I watched in theaters was Madagascar. I don't remember that because I was like 1. I remember watching Up, and I remember watching Despicable Me. And I've already made a movie talking about how we have kind of nerfed Disney villains lately, and how we have kind of eliminated children's horror, and we are overall just dumbing down children's media. So I think this is going to be the unofficial third part of the series. There was no plot. It was one of the biggest disappointments. It was a giant TikTok compilation of memeable moments praying for virality, and it was disgusting, to be frank with you. Gru was no longer this lovable villain with a love for evil turned dad. He was this hypoallergenic shell of what he used to be. Like, the guy was like made of marshmallow fluff. It was like a bizarre cartoonification of a cartoon. Edith, Margot, and Agnes might as well have been cardboard cutouts, and in fact, I can't remember a single thing they did in the movie. Oh, I remember that Agnes had a goat. I think that was a thing from like the third one. I didn't watch the third one, really. It was so random and weird. There was like a goat in a grocery store. And Lucy is a newer character, now Gru's wife. Some people are Lucy haters, but I actually really liked her because she was capable and quirky and fun, and she's also a villain. Yeah, they took all of her brain power away as well, and she might as well have an IQ of 74. It's bad. But instead of me reading it, I realized that this movie got really bad reviews across the board. And so, I'm going to read you one of my favorite Google reviews for Despicable Me 4, at least some excerpts of it. My opinions about the movie as a fan of other movies. Gru. Gru wasn't even Gru. Usually, Gru is portrayed as cool, evil, of course, and even a bit menacing. But tell me why Gru is a sissy in this movie. Just because he isn't evil anymore and has a newborn kid doesn't make him lame. Like, we all know Gru would never let himself get exploited by a child, Poppy. Also, the way they tried to make Gru seem like one of those weird introverts, he can't even communicate with the next door neighbor. Gru seemed really off while speaking to the guy, and even pouted when he was told he doesn't act normal. Huh? Gru? Edith, Margot, and Agnes. I think they mean Agnes, but I digress. Kinda useless to the plot, given random scenes to feel important, the karate scene, the grocery store scene, and why aren't they older? You can't tell me that Gru and Lucy was able to have a whole other child and they're still the same age. Is it just me, or does Gru seem to favor his son more? Is it because that's his first biological child, or Lucy? I'm confused on why no one mentioned this, but she seemed like a housewife in the beginning of the movie. In fact, even when she was given a different identity as a hairdresser, she was still useless. Also, why do they make her so overdramatic? I'm telling you, Gru and Lucy were just parodies of themselves in the movie. Then there's some like stuff about the villains and the side characters in the movie. The villains are completely whack, dude. There's 2 different villains for 2 different storylines going on that don't even overlap. Now, the draw of this movie was the thrill of the double life, because Gru is a supervillain, and now he's also a dad, and now he's under the witness protection program and has a secret identity, right? The double life. It was barely a double life. There were some scenes of the family trying to fit in, but it just felt like filler episodes piled up in one movie. The minions were parodies of themselves, more disruptive, specifically to each other, for no reason. Why were the 3 minions replaced? And why were Mega Minions useless? Overall, 1 of 10, waste of time, movie is forgettable. Paused once and I almost didn't finish the rest of the movie. 24 people found this helpful. Look, I don't care. Excellent review. I can't agree more with everything you said. I don't even care. I don't want to hear it. This person is based. I've noticed this push in children's media that there's not really a coherent storyline anymore, especially after COVID. Many movies just feel like SNL, TikTok compilations of things that they hope are gonna go viral, and it's kind of sad. Because do you remember when children's movies used to make you feel something? Yes, of course I felt something with Encanto and Onward and whatever, potato. But we cannot deny that there has been a resurgence of children's movies that have no plot, no storyline, and just feel like a hodgepodge of scenes that don't even really go together. They just think kids are going to be entertained by those short scenes and lump them all into a movie. Let's take a look at some other offenders. First of all, we have Moana 2. Now, I actually like the Moana movie as much as I hate Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's an excellent composer, and anything that he works on is gonna be gas. First issue is that he wasn't involved in Moana 2, so I immediately knew it was probably going to stink donkey balls, if you know what I'm saying. Moana 2 has a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not good for a Disney movie. Usually Disney movies get higher than that. And when you look at the reviews, the first review that comes up says that it's a hodgepodge of funny moments with no emotional core, and even one of the good reviews says that this movie never stops. It's something new all the time. That's not necessarily a good thing. The first movie was this voyage to save the island when no one had ever voyaged out before. And this was a voyage to nothing for no reason. It was just all the best parts of the last movie cartoonized even further and shoved together in a film. I could have made this on CapCut probably. And then the next movie I want to talk about is the Minecraft movie. Yeah, I know about the chicken jockey stuff. And there was some good fan service in this movie, some really sweet moments they added in, like the Technoblade reference and stuff, and I know that Jack Black himself is a huge fan of the Minecraft game. I can't really say anything bad about that, but all of my friends who watched it agreed that it was just a hodgepodge of memeable moments, things that they thought kids would find funny, slammed together into a movie. And the plot kind of made sense, but more so it was just laughable moments. There was chicken jockey, lava chicken, punching wood, I am Steve. Why are we making a movie out of memes? It is giving the people who try to make a relatable sound on TikTok by saying something quirky and relatable, and they're hoping that everyone's gonna use their sound.
Okay, so this is okay. But that, Mama can get behind it.
Stop saying shit trying to go viral. If you're gonna go viral, you're gonna go viral. You should be either saying something with your heart or a purpose, not trying to fish for approval of the internet. And that's what it feels like these movies are genuinely doing. I am unofficially coining this phenomena as the TikTokification of children's media. Pacing is out the window. Nothing builds. Every single scene is a serotonin bomb desperate to grab your 4-year-old's attention. Ooh, now we're a hairstylist. Look at that goat. Karate time, now. A badger! I mean, the Despicable Me movie even threw in, like, an okay boomer joke. That's outdated. That's not even funny anymore. And I don't even want to get into the side plot of the minions that are mega minions that aren't even the original 3 minions that we know and love. They're a spoof of the Fantastic Four. You got the Thing minion, the Stretchy minion. It's dumb. Why did we do that? At first, when I watched it, I thought, you know, maybe at my grown 22-year-old ass age, I'm just too old to enjoy this. But then you look up the reviews, and across the board, even kids are not impressed. Let's be real, some of the best movies you've ever watched as kids, like The Iron Giant, WALL-E, The Lion King, Coraline, those movies respected kids because they didn't dumb it down, begging and pleading for laughs every 15 seconds. Like I said earlier, not every children's movie has fallen from grace. From Turning Red to Encanto, hey, even Kung Fu Panda 4 wasn't that bad. That's another Jack Black thing. But if the industry doesn't self-correct itself and we continue to go down this path, we are going to have a mirage of children's media content that not only is just hodgepodges of laughable, funny moments, compilations of fart jokes and minions pushing each other into walls and YouTuber cameos. Is that what we really want? Children's movies are one of the things that instilled the love of film and cinema in me as a person. Horror movies and Disney movies, those two things growing up really inspired me to become the cinemaphile that I actually am. So I find it insulting that we don't have that same kind of respect for the kids of today, like Gen Alpha and Gen Beta? That's what's next. Our kids deserve better. We can say no to Despicable Me 5, Rise of the Minionverse. If you like this video rant, please check out the rest of my channel. I've got all sorts of other commentary videos you might like, and if you made it until this far, maybe subscribe, because what's stopping me from seeing you in the next one? Until next time.